Today on DC News Now, the sun is back, but will it stick around this weekend? Meteorologist Brittany Ward has your full forecast. President-elect Donald Trump isn't in the White House yet, but his transition is already taken over Capitol Hill.
You're going to do some unbelievable thing. Nobody's going to be able to do it like you.
A look at the latest picks for his administration, plus what can happen to the Department of Education.
D.C. City Council hears arguments both for and against changes to the district's emergency rental assistance program. We'll have the details next.
Turkey Day is right around the corner, and one high schooler is going big, taking part in this year's Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
At this massive scale, it's absolutely an honor.
You'll hear from the young star.
So much Christmas at Gaylord National. We'll have an inside look at this year's ice theme.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Well, good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for the news at noon. I'm Mark Hall. Meteorologist Brittany Ward joins us with the latest check on the forecast. Brittany, happy Friday. My question to you is, will the sun come out today? It seems like it's trying to fight those clouds.
Yeah, you know, we will start to see some peaks of sunshine, Mark, as we head through the second half of your Friday evening. And then as we head through the weekend, we are going to be tracking wall-to-wall sunshine. But overall, not a bad Friday in store for the entire DMV. Satellite and radar showing you right now, we did have some passing showers early this morning. Now we're starting to see dry conditions across the area. Zooming satellite and radar out, this should show you the wider picture. Again, still holding on to some clouds at this hour, all thanks to this low that is just off the coast of the Carolinas. As that continues to pull out, we'll start to see those clouds make their way out of the area. A few peaks of sunshine will be possible right before sunset, but overall, as we head into the weekend, we are going to be tracking those clear skies. Now, temperature-wise, not looking bad at this hour, especially if you plan on stepping out the door right now for lunch. You are sitting at 53 degrees right now in the nation's capital, 56 as you head over there to Lexington Park. Further off to the north and west, a bit chilly, still holding on to the upper 40s across those areas. And planning out the rest of your afternoon, we could start to see some breaks in that sunshine as we head through right around that 4 o'clock hour. Notice those temperatures warm up just a tad bit, mainly getting into the mid to upper 50s. Then tonight, still going to be holding on to some partly cloudy skies with those overnight lows mainly dipping down into the 40s. So keep it here. We'll have a full breakdown of this forecast and what to expect, Mark, coming up.
All right, Brittany, thank you. With New at Noon, D.C. police announced the arrest of 2 teenage suspects connected to a series of robberies in a Northwest community. Police say a 14-year-old and a 16-year-old are connected to at least 4 robberies on the night of October 27th. One of those robberies, police say they attacked Brian Smith on the 500 block of T Street. Smith died of his injuries on Thursday, the 7th of November. Police say that Smith's death is still under investigation, that additional charges could be brought. Police Chief Pamela Smith is sending a message this afternoon.
To those who commit crimes, we will find you. We will hold you accountable. Let these arrests serve as a warning. If you choose to endanger the safety of our community, you will face the consequences.
DC News Now's Ben Dennis is following the story for us, and he's going to have much more coming up on DC News Now at 4. President-elect Donald Trump raising some eyebrows after selecting people for his cabinet. One person creating a lot of controversy, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. He's being tapped to lead the Department of Health and Human Services. Kennedy has a history of anti-vaccine activism. During the COVID pandemic, he advanced the debunked idea that vaccines are tied to autism. Now, he also compared vaccine mandates to the Holocaust. Kennedy has also recommended removing fluoride from drinking water. Now, if confirmed by the Senate, he will also be in charge of food safety and the social safety net programs, Medicare and Medicaid. Well, the president-elect has now named 10 people for cabinet-level positions. That includes Florida Senator Marco Rubio as Secretary of State, Fox News host Pete Hegseth as Secretary of Defense, and former Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz as Attorney General. There still leaves 15 key cabinet-level positions to be filled, 10 of which fall under the line of succession, and all which require Senate approval.
Our schools must be totally refocused.
And among the cabinet positions still waiting to be filled is the next Secretary of Education. That pick critical as President-elect Trump has talked about minimizing or eliminating the department altogether. President-elect is pledging to restructure the education system, deeming it unnecessary. But Jessica Giles with Education Reform Now DC says the DOE is vital for students. The agency oversees civil rights issues, ensures students with disabilities get the services they need, also runs a student loan program, and provides federal funding for K-12 schools.
It's provided over $3.6 billion worth of funding to DC. We need our leaders to value Department of Education and to support it.
Why are you going to do it, and what are you going to do to replace it to make sure that resources are in place for our students?
Well, the agency does not set curriculum for schools, and according to the DOE's website, education is primarily a state and local responsibility. Well, developing in the district, police still searching for the gunman who shot and killed a man in Northeast yesterday morning. The shooting happened around 6:45 near Benning and Bladensburg roads. Police say that when police officers arrived, the man was unconscious and he died at the scene. The victim's name has not been released. Still no word on what led to the shooting. In Virginia, an unusual discovery at Dulles Airport. Officials say that what they thought were packages of chocolate turned out to be bags of cocaine. 28 pounds of the drug is what Customs and Border agents say they found inside of 10 chocolate packages at street value of nearly $1 million. And officials say the drug was headed to Northern Virginia. Investigators say the packets were hidden in a food shipment a man was carrying from Guatemala. Agents say that they were not able to link the man to the drugs, but his visa was canceled and he was sent back to Guatemala on the next flight. Changes could be soon coming to the district's emergency rental assistance program. The D.C. City Council held a public hearing this morning on the matter to determine the effectiveness of the program. Here's D.C. News Now's Candace Cole with more.
This morning, the D.C. City Council heard testimony from people who are both for and against the proposed permanent changes to the Emergency Rental Assistance Program, or ERAP. D.C. City Council Chair Phil Mendelson, who introduced the bill along with other council members, says the terms of ERAP that eliminated the need for renters in need to self-certify for the program during the COVID-19 pandemic have caused a financial crisis for affordable housing providers with a backlog in unpaid rent, forcing some providers out of the district because they can no longer afford to operate. ERAP is meant to help out tenants who make less than 40% of the median income. Before the pandemic, applicants had to provide proof of their D.C. residency, income, and assets. But the district did away with this requirement during the pandemic. Applying for ERAP automatically triggers a pause in any eviction proceedings. Proposed permanent changes would require applicants to submit documentation and limit self-certification to certain eligibility requirements and clarify what constitutes a qualifying emergency. Applicants would be eligible for only one eviction stay per application. Neighborhood Legal Services attorney Adam Marshall gave a litany of reasons why their clients may fall behind on rent, from job loss to lawfully withholding rent in protest of building code violations, but said taking advantage of the court system is not one of them.
To the extent the council seeks to address the issue of outstanding rent arrears, our clients need legislation that recognizes those issues, not legislation that threatens to erect barriers to rental assistance or disincentivizes landlords from participating in the rental assistance process.
Recommendations to the already proposed changes include granting an additional stay on evictions to ERAP applicants and speeding up application processing times. In the studio, Candace Cole, DC News Now.
Candace, thank you. Well, some changes in Maryland for people who use short-term rentals. Now, there's a new law in Prince George's County establishing a database for all the homes listed on sites like Vrbo and Airbnb. That database will alert neighbors if there's a rental nearby. This week, County Council voted unanimously in favor of the bill, and Council Chair Jolene Ivey saying that complaints from residents are the leading cause. The council says that they've seen minimal pushback from residents, but still are hearing the concerns and making adjustments.
It should be a searchable website that shows all of the houses that have this kind of license. If the citizen can look it up easily, that is just one tool that we're trying to give the community to understand what's happening in their own neighborhoods and what they might be able to do about it.
It's dangerous and it's going to cause people to get hurt.
It's 45 days for new laws to be put in place, so the county council expects the database to be up and running in early 2025. Well, so much Christmas at Gaylord National. The beloved holiday tradition is back for its 14th year, and morning anchor Tanaya Wright takes a look at how you and your family can get into the holiday spirit.
The holiday season is in full swing at the Gaylord National, and this year's theme for ICE is a beloved holiday classic.
We brought in 37 carvers from Harbin, China to carve the beloved Charlie Brown Christmas special in ice so people can walk through and experience the entire show. It takes 37 guys 33 days. It's about 10,000 man hours to build this show.
And it is an incredible show to see. When you walk inside the ice tent, which, by the way, is kept at 9 degrees, you will see 2 million pounds of ice masterfully carved into all of the characters you know and love. There are more than a dozen scenes here at ICE for a Charlie Brown Christmas, including many that are interactive, just like this one, Snoopy's Doghouse. And when you come inside, you can even see the carvers carving live. Once you step outside of the ice attraction, you're welcome to the Christmas Village.
This is where you're going to warm up after getting, really frozen in that 9-degree tent out there.
Now that slide is just one of the attractions in the Christmas Village. You can also make a gingerbread house. There's a snowball build and blast.
Tell me what you'd like for Christmas.
And you can also take photos with a very special guest.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Gaylord National. We're so happy to see you. Thank you for coming.
And the entire resort is decorated for the holiday season.
A whole brand new light show this year. It's called Here We Glow, a Caroling. And it's really a trip through the generations and through the decades of different Christmas carols.
You can visit ICE now till December 28th. Tanaya Wright, DC News Now.